starting to lose track now.
No,
so
it's
you
okay.
go.
It's okay. Well, it's funny that you mentioned the digitizing, and I was trying to think, have they ever done that in the show before? I
can't think of any reason. That's why, like, I feel like, and Gogglemon digitizes away in the real world before Alphamon comes out.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, like right when Alphamon steps out of the distortion, he digitizes away.
Okay.
So like, I'm very interested in like how the world works in Digimon. It's something that I've been exploring a lot recently because I think they definitely leave a lot of things open-ended. Especially in Adventure, it's not as well constructed as like Tamers.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I feel like a lot of the things we can start seeing that they might be taking inspiration from the other series and even from the video games. So I think that would be interesting. Maybe I'm just like overthinking stuff, but I think looking at those key points is something that we should watch out for, even if it's just because they're being lazy with their animation or whatever. But I feel like there must be a reason for just the way that Gogglemon is working. And why he always appears when some shady stuff happens. So I think he's the one that we need to watch out for. He definitely has some sort of connection with Meikumon. I wonder if they are part of a bigger evolution together. Just because their designs are very similar, and they're both new Digimon. So that, and because we're focusing so much on Megas and Jogress and DNA Digivolve and all that other stuff, I feel like they might be the reason why. So,
yeah. Yeah, I would love to, like, now that you say that, it's like, oh, I want to see more Jogress from the original kids. It's like, now, you know, we're never satisfied. It's like, oh, we finally got our Megas, and now we want to see Jogress. I would love to see a Jogress of Rosemon and Vikemon.
That'd be so cool.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
That would be.
Yeah.
And especially because their Jogress works a little bit different from the O2.
Yeah.
Especially because they have to get to Mega before they can do anything. So yeah, I would definitely. That'd be cool. I don't know if that's what they're gonna do. But it looks like we're definitely getting the Megas for everybody in the next movies. So at least that will be a nice like fan treat, I guess. I just hope that the movies don't end up becoming formulaic.
Yeah.
Because we do have just basically enough movies to do this with everybody.
Yeah.
Just that I hope that the overarching story still stays okay. So.
Well, like you said, speaking of the next movie's going to focus on Izzy and TK. TK's already gone to Mega in one of the movies.
Yes, but that was Hurricane Touchdown. And Hurricane Touchdown is widely known as not being canon.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I'm just saying.
At least we've seen it.
It
has happened. It's just that it's going to feel so much better when it actually is like, oh, everybody remembers. And speaking of everybody remembering things, so it's very clear, going back to the Kaiser, it's very clear that. So here's the other confusing part, is that we have all of the kids, and the first movie we were like, why isn't anybody mentioning the O2 kids? Clearly everything has happened. You know, TK and Hikari have, as I'm messing up their names, have the D3s. So we know that, you know, stuff has happened. They went through the events of O2. Why has nobody brought anybody up? When they see Ken, they're like, what is he doing here? And it's almost like a familiarity, like they almost aren't surprised that he's there. So, but whether or not they're surprised that he's the Kaiser again, I can't really tell.
Yeah.
Is this the first? Well, obviously it's the first time that they've seen him with their Digimon, because they just recently got their Digimon back. So
yeah,
like,
yeah,
why?
Yeah. I want to know, like, why is nobody concerned about what has happened to their friends
Yeah, and they were just so willing and ready to fight Imperial Dramon.
Yeah. That bothered me too.
Yeah, and that they were just okay with completely destroying him, which is another thing that is not okay. Yeah. So,
yeah, well, it's almost like there wasn't enough time in the story left to devote that, and that
last part was definitely very, very rushed.
Yeah,
and I will agree with a lot of my friends that have been saying that. I do think that the last section was not as well written as it could have been. And I wish that they had done a little bit more to explain things. Not that I didn't love the fight scene, because I love Imperial Dramon, so it was like the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. But it's still just, it just didn't sit right totally. So I just hope that they really explain that going forward. And I'm sure they will, but now we have to wait till September. So
why? Why do we have to wait so long? And there are so many things that don't add up so far, I think. That's what's really bothering me. And especially about, like, Hime. When...
Oh, she does a little sneaky grin at the end, where she clearly knows more than, I always forget what his name is.
Oh, the teacher guy?
Yeah. So that guy, the cute one, like... She knows more than what she's leading on to, and she's not telling anybody else, but whose side is she on?
Yeah.
And I mean, it's such a cliche type of character as well, where it's just like, of course you have this shady person from a shady organization talking to a shady person that we haven't seen the face of in the first movie.
By him, I keep forgetting that.
So, she's definitely part of a deeper part of the organization, and she definitely is intentionally doing the things that she's doing. How connected she is to where the O2 kids are and what their significance is, I think we need to be looking at her. Because, she clearly knew that was Ken.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the others would have really understood that. And also, I'm very interested to see them bring up Jedi sometime.
Oh, yeah.
Because they mentioned it in the first movie, and we didn't see him again this movie.
Yeah.
So there's definitely a lot going on with the digital world right now. And I think once they start explaining that a little bit better, we're going to have a better grasp of what's actually going on in the story. So,
yeah, I would love to have a better grasp. I feel like I don't know what's going on.
Yep. I'm still enjoying it.
Yeah.
But...
Oh, definitely. Well, it's like that should be exciting. It's like, I don't know, but I feel like more confused than anything else.
And the fact that we've been on about this for several minutes now, and we still just don't feel confident in anything that we're saying. Probably.
Yeah.
Like, at least of the what ifs, it's like.
Yeah. Well, it's like, okay, so Hime obviously set Meiko up to be captured.
Yeah.
And she was obviously happy about Meikomon turning on her friends. Why? What's her motivation? What's her role in all this? What does Gogumon want?
Yeah.
Is he behind the infected? And if so, why is he doing it?
Yeah.
And, the other thing, I just thought of this, talking about Meiko's Digivice turning black.
Yeah.
When that happened with Ken, it was very clearly a choice. Like, he accepted his destiny, and
at the same time triggering the D3s.
Right. So obviously this is not something that Meiko did herself. This was something that was done to her, and it didn't give her a D3. It just turned her Digivice black. So
exactly. I'm also confused on exactly how long she has been a Digidestined.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't expressly discussed in the first movie.
That's true.
And it looks like Meikomon had just shown up with Gogumon.
Yeah.
So, and then we don't really see much of Mei until, like, the last part of the first movie.
Yeah.
So, I also don't really trust her. Even though she has a very real love for Meikomon, that's not the question. So, I don't trust her either. I don't trust her, I don't trust Hime, I don't trust Meikomon, obviously. Yeah. I don't trust Gogumon. Yeah. So I think they're there's definitely that's the focus of the antagonizers right there. So